What's up guys, Snowcrash here, back with a new farm and a new tutorial. 18 months ago, I released the ultimate gold and XP farm. It was a revolutionary farm and in my humble opinion, one of the best AFK gold and XP farms there are. It was built by countless YouTubers, big and small, and all the fans and everybody out there also built it because it was just so awesome. So recently I was wondering whether I could go back to the drawing board and make it even better. And yes, we can. In fact, this new farm, which I'm calling the best gold and XP Pigman farm, is 30 to 50% faster than the old one. It pretty much works in the same way as the old farm. You stand up here in the middle, hurt a zombie pigman, this causes a resonance cascade, and then you have an endless supply of aggravated zombie pigmen pathfinding, falling down, dying, giving up their loot, and more importantly, you have a levitating halo of XP flowing up towards you and into your body. So just the usual reminder guys, always go down to the description and check the information there and any links to the websites before you start asking questions. At the end of this video, I'm going to go through the really common questions that have come up, so stick around until then and it will probably answer a lot of the questions you have. But right now, I'm going to tell you where to build this and then we're going to get on with the tutorial. So the first thing you're going to need to do is get above the nether. There are literally hundreds, if not thousands of ways of getting above the nether in all the different platforms, blah, blah, blah. 1.9, 1.8, breaking bedrock, using carts, using whatever. So what I want you guys to do is if you don't know how to get above the nether, just go to Google and type in how to get above the nether. All right, I'll leave it to you to work that out. But basically, once you're on top of the roof of the nether, you need to go up really, really high. Basically as high as you can, which will be about 127 blocks. And you'll soon know because you can't place any more blocks once you've reached the maximum height. Which for reference is Y255. Okay, without further ado, let's get on with building this thing. Okay, so we've pillared up to the top of the nether. There's the highest block you can build in the nether. Now your nether's not going to look the same as this. It's going to be dark and evil. And that's okay, because I've reached a higher plane and the taint's been removed from my nether and there's been divine intervention. So let's get on with the build. Alright, now, because this uses Snowcrash's patented donut-based technology, we're going to be building 4 donuts. What's a donut? A donut is simply a circle with a hole removed in the middle of it. Now, we're going to build this top down and we do that for a very good reason, is because we don't want ghasts to spawn. So we're going to build the roof. Now, you can build the roof out of glass or you can build it out of lower half slabs. I don't care. Either one, doesn't matter. Now you'll find a template for the roof in the description. Everything's in the description. But basically if you want to do the maths yourself or go and generate the circles yourself, it is a circle of a diameter of 75 with a hole in the middle of a diameter of 41 punched out of it. And obviously this thing is the center. So when you're finished, you'll have this donut shaped glass roof or lower half slab roof. Next, we're going to build 3 levels under this, exactly the same, and it's going to be with a 2 gap. So there's our 2 gap, and here we're going to start the new floor. Under that, there'll be another 2 gap, another floor, another 2 gap, and then another floor. Now, I want you to build these ones out of solid full blocks. You could build it out of upper half slabs, but you will get quite a few magma cubes spawning in the farm and you probably want to avoid that. So I would just build it out of solid non-combustible blocks, maybe cobblestone, whatever, stone, sandstone. So basically you're just going to copy the same roof pattern down below in solid blocks with this 2 gap between each one. So you end up with a total of 4 layers: glass, solid block, and then a solid block. So when you're finished, you're going to have a quad stack of donut rings. Glass or lower half slab on the top, full block, full block, full block with a 2 gap in between, and that's that. Now we've got to add the holes for the pigmen to drop down. This here is the center right here. This is the center line of the circle. It'll line up with that, and over the other side, I want you to come to the center line of the circle, go back 3 like this, and punch out those blocks there. Come into the farm, swing around here, grab some trapdoors, put them on like that, and open them up. Do that for all levels and all 4 center lines. So basically, as you can see, I've already done it. Then you're going to come out to the front here and put 3 blocks in front like that. I want you to do that for all layers like this, and then all the other 3 center lines like that, which I've already done, as you can see. Now we're going to enclose these drop chutes like this, come to the topmost level, and just put glass on like this. 2 levels up to the roof, and there we go. Now I'm going to get you to make a grid of trapdoors on this block here like that. There'll be 9, 3 by 3 like this. Now just a note for people not using 1.9, some people might be using 1.8. You can't stack trapdoors next to each other, just do that. Alright, once you finish that, do exactly the same thing on the level below, and you'll have something basically like this. Next we're going to come down to the bottom level and completely enclose this chute like this. All the way around, right up to the edge like that. Next I'll get you to put the trapdoors on again, 9 of these, and that will stop any zombie pigmen spawning in that space there. We don't want that. Alright, come to your middle level here, come around inside, and from where I'm standing here, I want you to come out and punch out a 2x4 hole like that. Grab yourself some stairs, and basically what we're going to do is just make a little staircase that goes all the way down to the floor like that we can walk up and down like that without hitting your head. Now what you can do is come back out where you use those temporary blocks, smash those out, that doesn't matter as long as we can get up and down. Mirror this on exactly the same side like this. And you're basically going to end up with one staircase there, one staircase there, and the job's done. After you've completed that level, and that level, plus the 2 stairs, you're going to repeat that on all the other 3 center lines which you've got over there. Okay, so when you're finished, you'll have your glass and your trapdoors in, and that'll be in each of the 4 corners. You'll have your stairs going up from the bottom to the middle level. Okay, next we're going to build the drop chutes. So come over to one of these guys here, and we're going to switch back to glass. Now this doesn't have to be glass, I just like the look of it. And what we're going to do is just put some glass around like that in that U shape, where the front of it, pointing to the center, is solid glass, but you can leave the back open like that. Now, we're going to come down, basically bring this all the way down 20 blocks. Okay, so when you're done, as you can see, we've come down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a marker for 10. Another 10, and here's the 20th block here. Just stick a little bit of glass on the back here. Switch to just a regular opaque block and put it on like that. Now I want you to put 3 slime underneath that. Now we're just going to grab a sticky piston and we're going to face it in towards that slime block like that. Get rid of that guy. Come down here. Put a block on like that. Come around the corner here. Okay, come over and put a sticky piston facing up. Put a block on top of that. Another block next to the piston. Put redstone dust on there. Repeater facing in that direction on 1 tick. And dust around like that. Alright, grab yourself some obsidian or any other block that a slime block won't stick to, and I just want you to come around here and go on the side and underneath those slime blocks like this. Come up, come out one like that, and another one like that. Now I want you to grab a chest. Now this is just sort of temporary. You guys can work out what sort of storage system and stuff like that you want. But just to get this farm going, I'm going to put a double chest there. Switch to a hopper, come around here and face hoppers into it like that. That's where the zombie pigmen are going to fall, drop, die, give up their loot. Switch to a solid opaque block like this, put them on the end, come down 3 like that, do the same on the other side. And now we're going to put 3 sticky pistons across the bottom like this, facing up. Just fill in this glass area. This can all be filled in now, like this. Okay, switch to your solid blocks again, and what we're going to do is put a few out like that. You can get rid of these guys. And we're going to put some repeaters. They're just going to be on 1 tick, so you don't need to change those. Grab a few more blocks like that. Come out here. Then come up 1 like that. Put a torch on here and some dust across like this. Those pistons will all fire up. Come over here and we're going to put a step down like that. You can get rid of that block and we're just going to bring that out like that. Take your dust all the way down here like this, and I want you to come back over to this repeater and set it on 4 ticks. Now, so you can test this thing as you go, grab yourself just a temporary button. You can just put it there. I also want you to grab your ice. Now, the reason why we use ice and not packed ice is because mobs can't spawn on ice, but they can spawn on packed ice. So this whole farm's going to use regular ice, and you just need to make sure that you don't have any torches near it or it will melt and evaporate. Okay, so the redstone at the bottom of this drop chute is just about done. Now we can test this. When we press the button, what's supposed to happen is this set of ice drops down, or these pistons drop, and then these slime blocks push, the slime blocks go back, and then the ice wall comes up. So hopefully if we've set everything up right, and I'll just get in a position here where we can see it, there we go. If you haven't set this up or built it properly, sometimes the slime blocks will grab this ice and pull it back. You don't want that, it'll break the farm, blah blah. Now, I can artificially create that situation by getting the timing wrong on this, and you'll see what happens. Alright, there we go. See how the slime blocks have pulled that ice back in, and now these guys have got nothing on them. Not a good thing, easy to fix. Just break your ice, put the ice back down on these pistons, and make sure you've got the 4 ticks here. We'll press it again, the ice goes down, the slime blocks come out, and then they shoot back up. And yes, the blocks on top of these slime blocks are supposed to come out with the slime blocks. What's that used for is if any mobs survive down here, it'll crush them. Now you've got that working, you can finally fill this in like that. Okay, we've just got a little bit more to do. Go back to your ice, and what I want you to do is come out 18. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, like that. Just do it for the other 3 rows. Okay, and when you're done, you'll end up with like an ice slipway that's 3 wide and 18 long, 19 if you include these guys. I want you to come to the end of the slipway here and put 3 slime blocks on like that. And also on this side, we're going to put a piston, sticky piston facing up like that. Okay, I want you to grab your block that the slime blocks don't stick to. In this case, I'm using obsidian, and just put it across like that. Now, if you've done this correctly, you'll just have a 1 gap between this and the center line. And if you don't have this gap here, then you must have counted wrong or something's gone wrong, and you'll just need to check it again. Come back over here, get rid of this button that we've temporarily used to test this mechanism, and bring blocks out like this all the way to the end of the ice. Like that. Grab some redstone dust, we'll just put this down. We may need to add some things later, but we'll just put it all down here like that. Now what I want you to do is count up from here 11. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And for the 11th, I want you to put a slime block on there. Do the same thing, bring 3 out like that. Get rid of these temporary blocks that we just used for counting. And we'll end up with something like that. Okay guys, so now basically, I think you know what's going to happen. You're going to repeat this same thing on each of these 3 sides here. So you're going to end up with 4 of them all pointing in towards here. If you're in the center, That piston's on the right hand side, this thing's on the right hand side if you're looking at it from here. So basically you're just rotating it around, one there, and one there. Okay, so when you've duplicated all 4 sides, you'll basically have this. Also, not forgetting to put these slime blocks in as well. You'll also know it's right because the corners of these obsidians all just touch like that. And there's this one gap around the center line all the way around. Okay guys, we are coming to the end and you have placed almost all the blocks. There aren't that many blocks left to place, but we are at the stage where we have to do some redstone and it's a bit of a jumble, so this is probably the not so fun bit. Come over to this obsidian ring and we're going to count down 6 like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Leave the 6th block, get rid of the others. Like that. Now what I want you to do is put a block either side of that guy and then build out another 6 like this. 3, 4, 5, 6. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a different colored block there so you guys know, what we're looking at here and where the center is. So as I said, 1 block either side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there. And on this side, we're just going to build out 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. On the side that had 6 blocks out, we're going to put 1 block here, put a torch on there, and now we're going to lay out our comparators like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, turn around, going in the opposite direction, another 4 facing into that block there. You can put some dust on the end here, and you can put 2 bits of dust like that. Now we've actually just created a fading comparator clock and you will see that this light just comes on and off and it just turns off and on and off, and that cycles all these pistons and everything to get the XP up. But for the moment we're just going to leave it off. We're going to take this torch out. We'll come back and put that back later, but we just don't need this clock running while we're building it. Grab some repeaters and then come around this side and I want you to put 4 repeaters on 4 ticks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab your redstone, come around here, and another 2 like this. 1 on 4 ticks and another one on 4 ticks. Put a block here, put a torch on top. Now put a block on top of that torch and then another torch on that block. Okay, so once you finish that, we need to sort of get into the middle here, turn around. Once again, we're still facing this little torch tower here. And we are going to connect these blocks to each of the pistons like this, and that one into not there, and this guy will come off like that. So you'll have that configuration with the torch there, going to here, to there, and around the corner like this, and this is open in the middle. You can put the dust down now to each of the pistons like this. Alright, let's move out of here. Okay, I've come over to the side of this platform where I have the repeaters on the right hand side and the set of comparators on the left. We're going to take a block out from the center here, 2 blocks like that, and then we're going to just step up each side like this. We're going to keep going on this side, stepping up. We can get rid of that temporary block, put another block here, step up again. We're going to come out 1 more like that, and then we're going to join it up to our friend over here like that. You can get rid of this block here, it's not needed. Now you can just put your dust down like this, all the way over there. Come back over the other side, more dust into there. You don't need a piece of dust there because remember that was a torch and we will put that back later. Dealing with the other side now, what we're going to do is bring out 3 blocks like this. We're going to step up, get rid of that block there. We don't need that block. Come around here and bring this guy all the way over to there like that. And now you can just fill your dust in, come over here, swing around, and take your dust so it's all joined up. What we've just done here is connect the clock to all these piston pushers over here on each of the 4 sides. Now the problem is redstone can only go 15 blocks, so we're going to need some repeaters in here. But the important thing is that they're all timed correctly. We can't just put 2 repeaters in here and 1 repeater over there. It's just not going to work. All these things need to go at the same time. So what I suggest you do is come over here, get rid of this redstone in the center. That'll prevent the clock from running, and put a torch on like that. Now, this will light up. Now, you'll hear some pistons going. Don't panic. It's just these ones here. But this will light up, and you will see how far the redstone can go as long as you've got particles on. What I want you to do is get your repeaters out, and at the last redstone that's lit up, like that one there, put 1 repeater on, 1 tick like that. Come over to the other side, find where it stops, put it on the end. There we go. Come over to the other one, put the repeater on. And finally, the last one is here. Okay, once you've completed that, all these pistons on the side here will all be up, which you can see there and there and there. So that looks like it's working. If you want to test it, you can come around and, you know, just simply break the redstone. You should see all these 3 pistons here push the ice up there, and it looks like they are. That's good. Put the redstone back. They should all drop down. They have. And that looks like it's working pretty well. Okay, come back down here, get rid of this torch again so the clock's not working. You can put the redstone back there. All right. Now what we're going to do is bring some blocks out like this. 1, 2, 3, and then 1 off to the side like that. Step up 1 block like that. Put some dust down here facing into that block there. Put a torch on the side. Put a block on that torch. Come around. Put a torch on the side. And now we're going to do a torch tower by putting a block on there. Torch, block, torch, block, torch, block, torch, and a block. Now, with this final block on the top, we're going to create a sort of a little star like this. All right? Just give you another look at that. And going out from that, we're going to step up like that on that side and that side. Now, as you can see, we're getting close to these slime blocks, and that's exactly how we want it. Those blocks are just 1 below the slime. Come around this side, put another block on there. Come around this side, put another block on there. I want you to put a repeater on those blocks, 3 ticks, like that. Grab your sticky pistons, and we're going to have 1 sticky piston facing up like that. Get rid of that guy. And 1 sticky piston facing inwards towards that slime block there, which is going to be pretty tricky to place. Actually, I'm going to get rid of that slime block. There we go. Like that. Put the slime block back. We're going to do the same thing over this side. Sticky piston facing up like that. And then 1 facing into a slime block like that. All right, now you can dust this up like this. Dust there, dust everywhere. Okay. Now on the opposite corner here, we're going to replicate the same thing. And that's really easy. We're just going to come over this side. What we'll do is we'll start with the pistons. Remember, put the 1 facing up like this. Get rid of that guy. 1 facing up like that. Like that. And now we need 1 facing into the slime block like this. Do the same thing here. Put the slime block back. All right, so you can sort of see how we've created it, a mirror image of it diagonally. Now we'll grab a block We'll step it down, get rid of that one. We'll do the same thing on this because they're all sort of symmetrical. Now we just need to come out one more like that and step down here like that. And remember, we create a little star pattern like this. All right, so when you're done, you're going to have your pistons and your blocks laid out like that, which is a mirror image of this. Now we can put the repeaters on 3 ticks, not 4, 3, and then dust it up. Like that. So now what we've got to do is we've got to connect this side to this side, and what we do is we come down 2 torches to this block here. Come around on the inside, put a block there, step up again. Okay, now we're going to come out another 4 like that, then another 4. We're going to step up, put a block there, put a torch on that block, and then we're just going to dust all the way from there, all the way along like this. There we go. Okay, so we've connected that side to that side. Okay, so you're pretty much done. That is it. So we can restart the clock and just check to make sure everything's working fine. So remember over here, we had this little torch that was missing. We'll put it back on that block. And what you should be getting is first, this will drop down, that will push. And we'll just wait for that. There we go. Then this guy will go, and then these guys will go. So if we watch that all in sequence, this will go first, then that, and then that. There we go. Push. This one's push up, and this one pushes up. Okay, that's looking good. So just go around, check all 4 sides, and I reckon I've just spotted a problem right here. Just waiting for the clock. Yeah, that piston is not pushing because the length of the redstone here is just too far. And I've got a feeling that this repeater here could probably be moved 1 closer, and it should work. There we go. So once you've checked all that and it looks like it's all working, you're good to go. Now, the AFK point is in line with the middle spawning platform, this one here, which happens to be that block there. Get rid of this. This is where you stand. Now, I'll leave it to you guys to work out a way in and out. I've designed this so you can have a ladder in the center. You could even make a minecart elevator. There's enough space in here to be able to do whatever you want. All right, well, we'll go back to survival, change the difficulty to hard. And it looks like we've got some zombie pigmen spawning in. Here they all go. And the idea is that if I can aggravate one, there we go. All right, here they all come. They're all falling down. It's all looking good. Yes, all 4 sides. And we should start to see that halo of XP firing up. Here we go. Sensational. Here it all comes. Balls of goodness in my face. We'll go down and check those chests in a moment, but I'm pretty certain we're looking pretty good. Now, I just noticed one little problem over here. I've actually gone back into creative, is that these trapdoors were put on the wrong side, and this will cause the pigman to do exactly this, just stand there. So that is a problem which you can easily fix. Come around here. The trapdoors should be on this side of the hole. Okay, let's restart. There we go. All right, it's all looking pretty good now. It looks like we've just tweaked those last few little bugs, and this is just working like an absolute treat. So there you go, guys. The best XP and gold farm on YouTube, in the universe, in history. So I hope you enjoyed it. Now, stick around. I'm going to go through like an FAQ section, a frequently asked questions, and I'm going to talk about all the sort of questions that people are likely to ask and answer those. And hopefully you guys can then get on, build this, and enjoy it. Okay guys, thank you for sticking around this long. Now I'm going to try to address all the questions that everyone's going to be asking, and probably some you haven't thought of. The first thing is, yes, you will get magma cubes spawning in this. Don't stress about it. You know, they'll despawn. It's just part of life. You can't stop them. If you use half slabs, upper half slabs for these spawning platforms, you will get big magma cubes spawning in here, and you don't want that. So that's why I've talked about using full-size blocks. When I talk about solid blocks, I'm talking about blocks you can't see through. So if you stick to iron, quartz, stone, you'll be fine, okay? Another question that comes up is these guys, these little guys. Look at him. He can ride a chicken, and they're called chicken jockeys, and they will float down and they will not die. They're not a big problem. They don't spawn that often, and this system will not kill them. You can deal with them in some ways. You can put to the entrance of each of these drop chutes, you could put some netherrack on fire, so have some fire burning here, or actually just on these 3 blocks have some fire, which will cook the chicken before he falls down. So that's one way to deal with it. But having said that, in 1.9, and I haven't checked this in 1.8, these guys, they're a bit smart. They actually don't want to cross over the fire. Now, if there's a lot of them, they will push their buddies down and they'll fall down. But I have noticed that the fire does interfere with their pathfinding, so just bear that in mind. Okay, another question. You do not have to use glass here in these little sort of enclosed areas. You could just use solid full blocks there. They're on the drop chute, doesn't matter. We're not trying to, you know, stop any spawns or anything there. The roof definitely needs to be either lower half slabs or glass. One thing you are going to have happen is you're going to have mobs spawning on all this redstone. It's going to happen. You're going to need to try to stop it, and to do that, either put blocks on top of all the spots where they can spawn, and that will help a lot. Now that can be glass or lower half slabs. So you can put your lower half slabs on like this, and mobs can't spawn on there. And you're going to need to do that pretty much everywhere there's and be careful not to change your repeater timings as well. You're going to need to put that everywhere where there's about a 2 high gap, and you're just going to have to go around and do it everywhere. You don't have to worry about it here. This is 1 high. There you have to do it. You can use glass, as I said. This is a problem. This is a problem. Now just be careful that some of these sticky pistons aren't going to stick to it. Like there is going to be a problem because your sticky piston's going to grab it. Watch. Okay, so you're not going to be able to deal with this here. Occasionally there will be a mob spawning on it. You'll just have to live with it. Okay, item collection. As you've seen, we've just have 4 double chests around here. Now you can connect up your hopper chains, minecarts, whatever, hopper with minecart, whatever you want to do to get your storage happening. You can get online, have a look at how to filter out all the crap you don't need, like all the swords. But let me just warn you that this farm generates a huge amount of items and gold and everything very quickly. So you're going to need to think about how to do your storage. Okay, where to build this monster? All right, well, as I said, you want to be building this on top of your nether. And the reason is because mobs can spawn up to 128 blocks away from a player, and being on top of the nether, right at the top, there is nowhere else for the mobs to spawn, so they spawn inside your farm. Remember the golden Snowcrash rule? If mobs are spawning outside your farm, they're not spawning inside your farm. So that's why we build it on top of the nether. You could, in theory, build this inside the nether, and you would have to condition the nether in a very, very similar way to the way you do it with a skeleton farm, and that is literally stop mobs from spawning, and especially pigmen from spawning 128 block radius around this farm. That means half slabbing a huge portion of the nether and every cave and everything. But if you're willing to do it, you could build this inside the nether. Good luck on that one. I'm not going to do it. Another thing some of you may experience is timing issues. Now, generally speaking, you shouldn't have a timing issue from there to here, but basically that pushes, the orbs need to settle, then they get pushed up. It'll be when they reach their apex on the second piston pusher there. So you could see quite clearly that this piston was pushing too quickly and, you know, it basically wasn't pushing the orbs. We'll just watch that one more time. There you go, see? Now, The place to add some delay to these pistons is very simple. If you just come down the torch tower that leads up to them, you'll find that there's 2 spots we can add some delay. So I'm going to add 6 ticks of delay. I could sort of see that it needed about that. So we'll put 4 ticks on there, and then we'll come around here, put another repeater. If I can see amongst all the XP, put 2 ticks there, 4 ticks there, that's 6. Now, let's just have a look. All right, let's have a look at that one more time with a 6-tick delay. There we go. And that's going to require a little bit of fine tuning. You guys are going to need to muck around with it. 1.8 and 1.9, there's also a couple of little differences. Now, there is something I need to mention in regards to Minecraft 1.8. It has been reported to me, and I've checked this in testing, that the XP balls don't get pushed up as high as they do in 1.9. As you'll see here, we're in 1.8 and they're just not quite making it. Now, you could try to tweak the timing, but there's an easy fix. All you have to do is just AFK 1 block down, like that, okay? So you just drop down 1 level and you'll see now that the XP balls are captured by my player. Here they come. There we go, all right? So that fixes that problem. Okay, some of the criteria, which will be obviously in the description and at the webpage. This farm operates under a certain criteria, and that is a few things. Firstly, you need to ensure that you're on normal or hard difficulty, preferably hard difficulty, but it will work on normal difficulty. Alright, the next thing that you've got to ensure is that in your video settings, if you're on single player, your render distance should be more than 12. Okay, preferably 15 or 16, but it needs to be more than 12. If it is not, the farm will not work properly. If you're on a server, there is a view distance setting in the server properties file, and that needs to be more than 12. Now, this farm will not work properly on a Realm server. I'll await some of my subscribers to go and try that and let me know whether it does, but I got a feeling given that Realms has a view distance, or i.e. a render distance of only 10, this farm will not work properly. Another thing, some creative people use Minecraft world editors to, maybe copy and paste this farm into their world or edit it or something like that. Typically, people will use something like MCEDIT, and if you use a tool like that, it will break the farm and stop it working. It's very complicated as to why it does it, but just believe me, it'll probably break it. Another question that comes up all the time about the farm is related to the fact that it's lossy. You can see here that there's some XP balls lying around, and you'll get the occasional items such as a little bit of gold there or a little bit of rotten flesh. Guys, it's just the nature of the farm. You can try to encapsulate all this, enclose it, stop that stuff from getting out. You will fail, okay? It is a lossy farm. This stuff that you see that's leaking out accounts for about 0.2% of the amount of stuff you get. And given the speed at which this thing pumps stuff out, I think it's really a non-issue. All these balls and items will despawn, including that guy, after about 5 minutes. So they'll just disappear. They're not really going to clog up the system or anything like that. It does leak out, and it's to do with the timing of things and a whole lot of other factors. So, don't get stressed about it. Just, live with it. I know people get an OCD about, a few balls lying around. So don't stress about it. It just happens. It's part of life. It's just things we've got to live with, and it really doesn't affect the whole farm at all. Okay, guys, well, that just about wraps it up. I'm going to leave any other questions, any other answers in the description. There'll also be a link there through to the webpage and a world download, so you can download the farm yourself and have a play around with it, check it against yours, all that sort of stuff. I'm also interested to hear from any people on Console Edition or Pocket Edition if they actually get a farm like this to actually function. So always let me know. I usually read all the comments, so don't worry, I won't miss your stuff. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing you this farm. I've had a lot of fun. If you're new here, subscribe. Give it the thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Anyhow, for now, this has been Snowcrash. I'll catch you later. Cheers.